Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Stormblood. In the last episode, we went to go meet the Namazu captain who was going to supposedly help us cross the Ruby Sea. Turned out to be a trap where we had to fight off some Imperial forces and then evade the Sekisagumi, eventually with the help of a Kujin, I think is what they're called, named Korban? I can't quite remember. We were able to bring the Namazu back to the East Alenard Trading Company offices and question him. And we learned that Gosetsu had also been lured into a trap by this guy and had to fight off Imperials and was arrested by the Sekisagumi and was being held in the barracks. Now, the East Alenard Trading Company offered to bribe some officials to help get him out of there, but he had already arranged his own method of release by dueling a bunch of the Sekisagumi. And so we met up with Gosetsu. We got our passage across the Ruby Sea and met the Confederacy, a group of pirates who basically extorts travelers to cross the Ruby Sea. We paid our fee, and but the Imperials are not playing ball, so we'll see how that goes. That's kind of where we're at the moment. So we need to get across the Ruby Sea, and we did hear a little bit about the new acting viceroy of Doma, who is in the area terrorizing local citizenry. So we'll see if we run into her. So what I did do is I went ahead and swam out to the town where the Aetheryte is, so I got myself attuned there, so I can teleport back to that zone when needed. But obviously we are sitting here in Ul'dah because I want to take care of a few things here now that my character, or my samurai here, is level 63, because we now have a new job quest to do. So I want to go ahead and take care of that. And also, I was able to get my Dark Knight here to level 47, which is already a couple levels past where the next job quest is for Dark Knight. So we'll be doing that as well before we head back out to do main story quest stuff. But we'll start with Samurai. So let's go ahead and talk to Momozigo here and see what it is that we're going to need to do. Alright, Momozigo has a letter addressed to you in his care, okay? Ayame, I have a letter for you that arrived at the inn. It's from Makoto, the Hingen samurai who came all the way here seeking Musasai. I can't imagine what this might be about. Let's find out, shall we? Alright, dear Ayame, I pray this letter finds you well. You received me with kindness when first we met, and I write to you in hopes of depending upon your kindness once more. You will recall what I told you of Ugetsu and his growing faction of insurgents. Upon my return to Kugane, I was dismayed to find that his influence had spread to alarming proportions. Outbreaks of violence have become a regularity, and the men and women of the Sekisagumi struggle to maintain order. Each day we fight, and each day our strength is shorn further. The enemy, it shames me to say, completely has our measure. I shall speak plain. We are in desperate need of aid, and I beseech you to lend your katana to our cause. As Master Musasai's last pupil, your skills would help us turn the rising tide. I know full well that I ask much of you, to journey halfway across the world and involve yourself in a struggle not your own. Yet ask I must, for should the Bakufu fall, the realm would be plunged into chaos, and innocent people would be subjected to untold suffering. With all my being, I pray that you'll answer our call, and ere long we shall meet again in Kugane. Sincerely yours, Makoto. Alright. Musasai's first and final pupils pitted against each other. There's certainly poetry in that, and you can take comfort in the knowledge that you'd be fighting on the side of justice. But as Makoto writes, though, it's a lot to ask, and the decision is yours to make. But for my unsolicited opinion, I reckon you should do it. For the old man, if no one else. If for no one else. Alright, so. We need to head back to Kugane, which I have set that up as my home point, so I can return there. Because teleporting back and forth between Authard and Eorzea is expensive. So usually what you might want to do, as a tip, is set one side of the world as your home point, and the other side of the world has a free teleport, so you can hop back and forth without incurring exorbitant teleportation fees. Alright, so head over here to the Seki Segumi barracks and have a chat with this guy here. A samurai, yet yours is not a familiar face. Makoto's foreign guest, I take it. My apologies, but she is not on hand to receive you. She is presently leading a mission to Sakazuki, where insurgent leaders are meeting in secret. However, they are late to return, and I must confess that I grow worried. I would go and find them myself, but I cannot well abandon my post. Might I ask you to go in my stead? Alright, so that's in the Ruby Sea. I was kind of hoping to do this first, but I think it would actually make the most sense, since that's going to be in the Ruby Sea, to do that alongside the main story quest, because it's going to involve a lot of swimming. Actually, let me just check. Because you can supposedly get to the Ruby Sea from here. So let me just make sure that this isn't just a short ferry ride away. Or there's just a zone line right there. That works, I guess. Well, there is still going to be some swimming, but not as much as if I teleported myself all the way out to there and had to swim this whole way to get down here. Until we can either fly or another method of travel opens itself up to us, this is going to be what we're going to need to do for a while here. We do get another method of quicker travel in this zone. But we have to get through the story quest to get there. Alright, we got our purple circle up ahead, and there is Makoto. Let me get my chocobo out. And let's go see if we can't knock some heads. can play that game. Alright, there we go. By the Kami, it's really you. I don't know how to thank you, Ayame. We caught wind of a secret insurgent meeting and came here hoping to learn something of their plans, but they were the ones who knew of ours. They were expecting us and had laid a trap before we knew what was happening. We Hingans live by a rigid caste system, wherein one's standing in society is inherited rather than earned. My comrade, he hailed from a poor farming village. His family grew scarcely enough to pay their lord his dues, and it was all they could do not to starve. In order to escape the shackles of his birth, he sought a new life in Kugane, a more progressive district where a man may yet rise above his station. He became a samurai in hopes that he might one day have the power to bring about change to an irrational system that holds people hostage to their birth. Souls such as him make up the Sekisegumi, those raised with a plow in hand and not a blade. You'll find none among us born into a samurai family. Ours is a ragtag band gathered from the lower rungs of society. Yet, for our disparate origins, we are patriots all. Ugetsu and his cohorts, too, claim to be patriots, but in order to bring about their change, they would as soon see our nation razed to the ground. As with any nation, Hingashi is not free of problems. Far from it. But should the Bakufu be toppled, the great lords would rise against each other in a bid for power. The realm will be transformed into a battlefield, and another age of blood would begin. If we are to prevent this, if we are to protect the peace, Ugetsu must not be allowed to succeed, no matter the cost. Forgive me, now is not the time to hold forth on my passions. I shall bear my comrade back to the barracks. Pray join me there. Alright, so back to Kugane. I should probably move that back over so you can see it. There we go. Alright, there you are. Alright, the enemy should know our plans. The loss of a comrade pains us, but we are grateful for Makoto's preservation. As she has told me all, as Master Musasai's pupil, your blade would be most welcome in these dire times. Ayame, pray allow me to confirm your intent. By your coming to Kugane, we may take it to mean that you will aid us in our fight? Yeah. Alright. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Our cause is much bolstered for your blade. Without further ado, I would introduce you to our captain. However, there is one thing I must ask of you. Pray keep the fact that you are Master Musasai's pupil to yourself. It may make little sense to you, but that you shared a master with a wanted criminal would mark you out for suspicion. That is simply the way of it in our culture. Lieutenant Shinden alone knows the truth and understands, but few are as open-minded as him. Right, it occurs to me I've yet to introduce myself. As Makoto says, I'm Shiden, Lieutenant of the Sekisegumi, and may I apologize for our orders pensioned for procedure. when I sent you to find Makoto in my stead, I could not leave my post due to a prior duty, tending to the whims of a visiting dignitary. Pressing business, as you'll no doubt appreciate. Now, if you'll wait just a moment, I shall bring Captain Kongo hither. May I present to you Ayame Yotsurugi, who has journeyed from faraway Eorzea to aid our cause. Though she is not of our land, I have witnessed her skill at arms firsthand, and have every confidence that she will prove an invaluable ally. Captain? You would have us trust our lives to an outsider. For all we know, she is one of Ugetsu's, or even an Imperial spy. Captain, please. Ayame is a good woman and true. I personally vouch for her identity, and shall assume all responsibility for her actions. Should her origin give you cause to doubt, you would do well to doubt us all. The sons and daughters of nameless farmers and laborers, and the kami know what else. Very well, but mark my words, outsider. A single misstep, and I will cut you down. You'll try. Right, forgive the captain, my friend. He holds himself responsible for all our losses, and we fight a losing battle. In spite of our best efforts, we are no closer to ascertaining Ugetsu's whereabouts, nor do we know the full extent of his operations. And in light of the recent ambush, I fear there is a breach in our security. As if we had not problems enough, His Excellency the Tyro, one of our nation's most powerful men, has chosen this juncture to come to Kugane on an embassy visit. Ugetsu will surely look to wreak further chaos, and it falls to the Sekisegumi to keep our honored guest hale and whole. We will be out in force, providing security, and I pray that we can rely on your blade as well. Alright, I too must beg your forgiveness for the captain's outburst. With naught to show for our efforts, he grows ever more irritable. Now then, I must return to my duties. We have no task for you at present, but in case of emergency, pray remain near and with your katana near at hand. Alright, that's done. Alright, next quest is available at level 65. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and switch over to Dark Knight. And let's head on over to Ishgard. I'll pay the fee. To go talk to Frey again and see what is next on the agenda for our Dark Knight. I'm really trying to level this thing as aggressively as I can. Alright, Frey. Let's see, this is going to get us the ability Dark Arts, which does what? Attune the darkness within you, increasing the potency of several actions, can only be executed when succumbing to the darkness, or to the dark side. Okay, that's vague. Alright. I'm beginning to question your commitment, Ayame. Really? You haven't heard the voice since our last communion, which means you haven't taken my lessons to heart. You know I'm trying to help you, don't you? All this is for your benefit. You listen, but you don't understand. Never mind. You're the stubborn type, I know that. We'll just have to keep at it until you open your eyes. Morabi Dry Docks, that's where we'll head next. Alright, rendezvous with Frey at the Morabi Dry Docks. Been a while since we've been here. Alright, there's Frey. Never much cared for the ocean myself. That friend of mine, the one I told you about after our first communion, we came out here together once. Long story short, we ended up doing something ridiculously foolish and were lucky to make it out alive. I tried to talk her out of it, but she just had to get on that damn boat. Don't be like that, friend. Isn't the maelstrom supposed to aid the small folk when they're in a spot of trouble? Huh? Alright, so far as it is possible, yes, but such matters fall within the purview of the Yellow Jackets, and they told me to bugger off. Can you believe that? I'm begging you, Sergeant. Wait, is that you, Lieutenant Yotsuyu? It is. The legend herself. Forgive me, madam. I never thanked you properly for your service to Limsa Laminsa. When I first heard Leviathan had been summoned, I feared that... Why, if it isn't that famous adventurer who's been killing primals left and right. Truly the 12 must be watching over me, because you're just the woman I need. I'm the victim of a terrible, nay, heinous crime. I was waylaid by Kakiran bandits near the Salt Strand, who left me with not more than the clothes on my back. And what makes you think I give a Kakiran's arse about your troubles? Go and bother the Yellow Jackets, like the sergeant said. I seek worthy prey, not a gang of rats. How can you say such a thing, madam? Without your help, I'm ruined. Okay, I'll help. Spoken like a true hero. So you know, the rank and file didn't seem so dangerous, but the leader was a mean-looking bastard. But considering the foes you faced in the past, he couldn't possibly pose a threat to you. Shut your mouth and wait here. I'll be back. Alright. So... I have to figure out how to get out of here. Alright, I probably should just mount up. Alright, there's Frey, and we'll be going into an instance. Alright, if this Kakiran isn't everything he promised, I'll take it out on his hide. Then, let's make the most of this, Ayame. No style, no guile, just chaos. Mark your limits, then push yourself beyond. Let the darkness guide you and set you free. Alright. Weak but plentiful, they may yet suffice. Alright. Slaughter the Kakirin. Sounds like a plan. Let's make sure I get dark side on. There we go. Use my skills to reduce my damage. Shadow Wall reduces damage by 30%. Oh, more small fry incoming. I have this ability that is a linear AoE. I got last time. This guy's about done. There we go. Tenacious bastards. Right then, the goods. Let's grab the goods. Good thing there's nothing left here for... Okay. Are you having an issue? You did well. All that's left is to return the goods to their owner. Finish it. Finish what we started. Okay, don't know what your problem is. I'll just ride there. Won't bother to teleport. It's not that far. Alright, there's the overbearing trader. Ah, it's you. Were you able to catch up with those bandits? Yeah. Yes, that seems to be mine, but... Limlane, take me. I can't sell this. Everything's soaked through with Kakirin blood. What did you do? Carve one open and leave him to bleed all over my wares? I'm ruined. Utterly ruined. Madam, I demand recompense for your reckless destruction of my property. I'm a reasonable man, so I'll acknowledge that you are not wholly responsible. 50% of the value should suffice. 50%? 50%? I slaughter a gang of Kakirin bastards for your precious goods, and this is the thanks I receive. You spineless sack of shite. I kill your enemies, fetch your things, I do what you people can't do or won't do for yourselves. You're helpless, weak. All you do is want and need. I should have left you all to drown in Leviathan's tidal wave. At least then I would have been spared your constant bloody whining. Do not speak to me of this ever again. Pray forgive my indolence, madam. Lieutenant Yotsurugi, madam, you have every right to be upset, but I think he understands, madam. So they're acting like I'm the one who said all of that. Interesting. Alright. And talking about slaying Leviathan, I'm the one who slayed Leviathan. So, who is Frey? Or what is Frey? Gotta find him first. There. Alright, we can't keep doing this, Yame. You must see now what it's doing to us. What they're doing to us. These people. Never mind them, the voice is all that matters. I guess I'll go with that. Yes, you are right. You must hearken to its words and discover your true calling. You are close, Ayame. So very, very close. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could make you see. But all I can do is guide you on your journey. Alright. Alright, with every breath, you grow lighter and slip further into the abyss. Alright, we're communing again. Right, a chorus of voices cries out for a hero, and she comes. She smiles, she nods, and she remains silent. But she too has a voice. I will be heard. Ayame Yotsurugi? You stand at the precipice, but do not fear the fall. Cast yourself into the abyss, and you shall soar above, free at last. There are other lands in these, Ayame. Lands where we are not known. Ask, and we shall quit this place forever. Only when you have renounced everything are you free to do anything. When we meet again, you will give us your answer. Alright, got the Dark Arts ability. So I'll go ahead and put that out here somewhere. It's still very vague of what it actually says it does. Increasing the potency of several actions. That's very specific. Alright. Well, that's done. I think the next class quest we're going to be doing is maybe the next Dark Knight quest, but Warrior probably. Not sure. Alright. Back to Samurai, and then back to Kugane, and back to the main story quest. Alright, so we'll sprint ourselves back over this way and head back to the Ruby Sea again. Alright, where are we actually headed here? Okay, we're headed up to the top of that plateau there to talk with the Proud Confederate. Just out of curiosity, there are some aetherite or aether currents in the area, but let's talk to the Confederate first. Alright. Oh, you're one of the Aegean from the beach. Leaving us already? No need to pay the tithe, like Tensui said. On the other hand, if you were to peruse our wares and find anything to your liking, we should be glad to sell it to you for a fair price. Though, I just noticed this quest giver up here. Yotsuyu. And that gets me in the Aether Current, so we're going to want to grab this. Alright, you. Yes, you. Do you know the Ruby price? The fortress in middle of the Ruby Sea from which the Bakufu soldiers survey the surrounding waters? The other day, we found one of their men stowed away on a ship we confiscated. With a bit of coaxing, he eventually confessed to doing some underhanded trading with the Red Kojin on behalf of his superior. Seems he thought he could avoid paying the Ruby tithe by hiding aboard someone else's ship. But no one gets away with crossing our waters free of charge. As such, I am looking to track down this superior of his and have him compensate us. If I try to sail to the Ruby price and look for him myself, however, I'll be blasted to smithereens before I even make it halfway there. Do you think you can go in my stead? There is a man by the name of Ikaruga there. He is an old friend and should be able to identify who our captive's superior is. Alright. That's over in that direction. But I have to kill you to get this. Alright, so that guy is a hunt target. Alright. There's Soroban. Not Korriban. There we go. Alright, you guys spoke with a Confederate up above, then. Excellent. If you are ready to depart, we may do so at any time. Actually, one moment. I'm not quite ready to head out just yet. While we're down here, yeah, I just now noticed that this place is, in fact, heavily armed with cannon. Alright, there's Ikaruga. Oh yes, just the other day one of the soldiers deserted base. I suspect he is the man Yotsuyu is after. Trade with foreign countries is strictly prohibited in our nation. The man, upon learning his subordinate disappeared, feared he would be caught and turned tail and ran. If what you told me is true, he likely went northwest of here to seek asylum with the Kujin of the Red. I am tempted to go after this man myself. Alas, that would require me receiving the necessary authorization, which could take days. Please track him down and arrest him in my stead. If he resists, feel free to kill him. Okay. And that is up there. Once you make sure I can hop on my mount and ride the rest of the way. Try to avoid the local wildlife a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Where is our man? There he is. Alright. I would have to be a fool to agree to go with you. I am so close to the Red Kojin's settlement. So close to freedom. Wrong choice. Alright, There we are. And we gotta go all the way back there. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. Well, what I might do is actually cut recording here, and I'll be back as soon as we're back at the at our NPC we need to talk to. Alright, be back in a moment. Alright, here we are. And here's Ikaruga. So it seems he forced your hand. Perhaps his death was for the best. I will send word of all that has happened to Yotsuyu, though I am not sure he will be happy to hear it. You are curious to know how I will inform him? That, my friend, is a secret. Alright. So that takes care of one of our quest-based Aether Currents. So Ruby C, we got one of the 5 and one of our field currents. So I just have to make sure to keep an eye out. 663 yalms to the north. We're not going to worry about that just yet. Alright, Soroban. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and depart. Alright, then let us be off. I shall deliver you to the fishing village of Isari. Wait. Tensui said that the Viceroy was holding court in one of the fishing villages, did he not? Should Isari chance to be the village in question? We could instantly find ourselves surrounded by Imperial soldiers. I think it's safer to come ashore some distance away. Very well. I know just the place. Alright. So now we're all the way over here. And there's a settlement. Alright, let's talk to Soroban. Alright, here we are. I am reasonably certain none bore witness to our approach. And with this, I believe I have fulfilled the terms of our agreement. Aye, that you have. You have my deepest thanks, Soroban. Truly, we are blessed to have befriended such a clever and industrious merchant. Oh, you are much too kind, good sir. I know not where your path may lead, but I wish you the very best, and hope that we shall meet again. So we finally arrived in Authored. All we need to do now is, liberate Doma. Ah, yes, that. Look, daunting though it is, we do have one thing in our favor, the element of surprise. Unlike in Garabania, the Imperials don't know we're here. Admittedly, that may be our only advantage, considering how few of us there are. Well, I expect the Doman Liberation Front will even up the odds a bit. But before that, we need to see if this is the fishing village Tensui was talking about. It may well be. I smell ceruleum on the breeze.
even accounting for the rebellion, such indiscriminate shows of force seem pointlessly excessive.
If only you knew how commonplace such scenes have become. Are we too late?
Over there, someone's coming.
It is she, sworn enemy of Doma, of my master. The traitor who sold her homeland to the Garleans. Yotsuyu.
The Viceroy herself. And look behind her. Isn't that...
Filth and squalor everywhere I look. How very Doma. What I wouldn't do for a drink. Come now. You've no reason to look so afraid. You have lived through a quarter of a century of Garlean rule, remember? 'Tis better to bend with the wind than stand tall and be broken. Therein lies hope. Therein lies freedom. I come before you today seeking affirmation. A heartfelt declaration. You're free to answer me as you see fit, yet even the least among you should know the correct response. Should. A resident of your village, one of your neighbors, mayhap your friend, was detained by the Kojin this morning. They say he was attempting to flee to Kugane, but we both know that simply isn't true, don't we? Have you anything to say? Bit slow, this one. Is there anyone more sensible among you? Have any of you anything to say? To swear?
My lady, I swear to serve the Empire, to do whatever is asked of me, and never disobey.
Well said, that man. Of course, it wouldn't do to simply take you at your word. Kill him. Surely you can do that much. He must be guilty of something or other, or he wouldn't have attempted to flee the Empire.
I have a family. Kami, forgive me. Kami, forgive me.
Very, very good. I've always had a soft spot for men like you. Next, I want you to shoot those two over there. Too old to work, you understand. A burden on the Empire. And we can't have that.
But they're my parents. You can't expect me to...
We can't. Not now. Yeah, as much as we would like to.
She's right. They would simply take the villagers hostage. We must consider the wider picture. If we act recklessly, we risk alerting the Garleans to our presence here, making it that much harder for us to work with the local rebels. to say nothing of the reprisals ordinary civilians would be made to suffer.
Open your eyes, girl. They are already suffering. Let me go. I am putting an end to this madness. I will approach the village alone and identify myself as a former leader of the rebellion and a known fugitive. They will wish to detain me until they are certain they have learned all I know. Use this time to make your plans.
You saw what those monsters did to the villagers. Who knows what they'll do to you, assuming they don't kill you where you stand?
We live and die at the pleasure of the kami. My fate is in their hands and no others. If it be of any comfort, I am no stranger to chains.
You can't expect us to stand idly by as a comrade goes marching off to his death. And this is nothing like Kugane.
Nor is it like the Reach, Lys, or the Wall. Let him go. Hold out for as long as you can, but remember, noble sacrifices are to remain an absolute last resort. I wish I could say it won't come to that, but only the gods know how we're going to get you and the others out in one piece. A miracle, perchance.
A great tower stands to the north and east. Look to its occupants for aid and succor. Together, you may yet find your miracle. Now, leave this place. I must go.
Another idiot like all the rest. I'm beginning to think it may be something fundamental. Something intrinsic. Something quintessentially Doman to ignore the simple truth. You can't do a damn thing if you're dead.
Enough, Yotsuyu!
Well now, this is a surprise.
Hear me, Yotsuyu! Cease this farce, here and now, and I shall surrender myself to you. Refuse, and all shall answer to my blade.
Bring him to the tavern.
Alright, so now we're going to have to figure out how to rescue Gosetsu. Alright. Alice? I hate it as much as you, maybe even more. Every fiber of my being was crying out to intervene, but what's done is done. Gosetsu's gamble has gifted us the time we need to find a solution. He bade us seek aid at the distant tower, yes? For want of a better idea, I say we do just that, while taking care to avoid the Imperials. Alright. So over there is where we're headed. And we're gonna have to swim it. There's that volcanic mountain over there. Alright. There's Alice. Alright, we seem to have evaded their patrols so far. What is that tower, anyway? I've never seen anything like it. According to my map, we are on Onokoro, and the tower is known as Heaven on High, a mysterious structure built long ago by persons unknown. Oh gods, listen to me, I'm starting to sound like Alphino. Next thing you know, I'll be saying things like, as you are doubtless already aware. Over there? Do you see it? Doesn't look like it's been dead long. Whoever did this, they're a good shot. I can't see a single stray arrow. Well, someone's hungry. Wait, that wasn't either of you two, was it? Calm down, we have nothing to do with... Wait, what am I doing? They can't possibly understand us. Probably not. No. Time to run, Lise. We save our strength for any that give chase. You too, Ayame. Alright, well, we'll defeat these two. I should probably have my chocobo out. Alright, that one's down. Let's see if we can avoid combat with any of the others. So what I think we'll do is we'll just go around this way. Okay, there's Lise and Alice. Alright, just imagine if they'd taken us by surprise. What a fine ending that would have been to our story. Anyway, I think it's safe to assume that the people at the tower know how to defend themselves. You'd have to, sharing an island with these things. Now all we need to do is convince them to help us. Alright. We'll hoof it over there. Which actually I don't really need to because I have myself attuned to that aetheryte already. Alright, there's Lise. Oh, there's a settlement here. And they've even got their own aetheryte. Wait a minute. I've seen that standard before. It was when we met with Tensui, which means this place belongs to... Oh. Alright. I don't need any of this stuff. Alright, Alice. Alice seems to be amused to find herself standing outside a Confederate settlement. Okay. It would seem we have found a Confederate settlement, mayhap even their headquarters, judging by the size of the place. So, Gosetsu bade us seek out the Confederacy for aid and succor? The self-same Confederacy that refuses to openly oppose the Empire. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained, I suppose. At the very least, they're unlikely to ask us for the tithe. And there's Tensui. What wind brings you hither of all places? Were you not bound for Othard's shores? I see. I trust you have not forgotten our previous conversation on the subject? No? Then do what you want. Then what do you want? A second opinion? Very well. Come with me. I will take you to the captain, Rasho. Just like that, an audience with their leader. How very accommodating. We must needs choose our words carefully. Alright, you leave it to me. I've always been good with people, and this will also give me a chance to use the Eastern greeting they showed me in Revenant's Toll. Okay. East isn't exactly the most diplomatic of people. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, there's Rasho. Greetings. You must be Rasho, leader of the Confederacy, and so on. I realize this is all a bit sudden, but the thing is, we have a little favor to ask. Oh gods, I've probably broken half a dozen rules of Far Eastern etiquette already. Well, I'm sorry about that, but you have to understand that we're in a hurry, so I'm going to stop talking now. Men who revere manners and tradition can be found the world over, but not here. Your candor is appreciated. Speak your heart. Gosetsu, a former leader of the rebellion. I know of him. Why he bade you petition us for aid and succor, however, I know not. At the risk of repeating myself, to join the Confederacy is to renounce all other ties. We are beholden to none, allied with none. When Doma was invaded by the Empire 25 years ago, we did not rush to her defense. Knowing this, do you honestly expect us to help you drive the Imperial forces out of Isari? The Garleans have long maintained a presence in this region, and we would be fools to break the peace, fragile as it is. Besides, you are capable warriors, yes? With guile and preparation, you can surely resolve this matter yourselves. It is imperative that our presence here remains secret for as long as possible. For us to openly engage the Imperials at this time would endanger everything we have come here to achieve. You have told us why you cannot fight, not why we should fight in your stead. If you would speak to me of lives saved, I would speak to you of slaughter. How many will die when all pretense is lost and the Garleans declare war on the Confederacy? Hate is a luxury we cannot afford. You are free to come and go as you please, but you will receive no further aid. Thank you for your hospitality. If you would excuse us. Alright, well, that could have gone worse, I guess. Alright. Hey, Ayame. I know that didn't go well, but I'm not prepared to give up on them yet. Okay, Gosetsu told us to come here for a reason. He must have believed we could convince them to help us. We just have to work out how. My thoughts exactly. I'm glad to hear we're of the same mind. 'Tis little wonder they refused. We have done naught to persuade them. The real work begins now. We need to learn more about the Confederacy, what their needs and weaknesses are. Once we know that, we will know how to earn their trust. Alright, well, now that we're working out of here, I think this might be a good spot to go ahead and end the episode, because I'm a bit long here and need to wrap things up. So, what we'll do is we'll end the episode here, and then when we come back, we'll start asking around the area and seeing what we might be able to do to get the Confederacy to join the cause, or at least help out a little bit. Alright, so for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.